Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. Today I will be reviewing the Arteza Premium Series Gouache and their watercolor sketchbook. I purchased these items about a month ago and wanted to give them a good use before I gave my review. After trying out the sketchbook with multiple mediums and testing out the gouache for a couple of different projects, I'm finally ready to share my thoughts. Let's start with the basics. So I purchased the 110-pound cold press Premium Series watercolor sketchbook in size 5.1 by 8.3 inches. This is a hardcover sketchbook bound with natural linen and claims to be acid-free with 76 pages. It also came in a 2-pack and only cost around $18 on Amazon. I will put a link to the sketchbooks and the gouache from Amazon as well as the Arteza website in the description. I like this sketchbook in particular because of the sturdy hardcover binding and the elastic band that holds it closed. The sketchbook also features a bookmark ribbon as well as a plastic pocket on the back cover. One of the things I noticed almost immediately was that the pages seem to vary in texture from one page to the next. One page has the toothy cold press texture and then the next seems to be significantly smoother. I don't mind this because I tend to work in mixed media, and the smoother pages are great for sketching and using ink. The Premium Series Gouache came in a pack of 24 paints and cost about $20. These paints are non-toxic, and each tube is labeled with detailed information about the pigment, including light fastness and transparency. The first thing I did was create a swatch page so that I could get a feel for the colors. I was very quickly impressed with the vibrancy of the colors and the opacity of the paints. I did notice that when trying to stretch the paints a little thinner, some of the pigments got a bit grainy. However, since this is gouache, I know that I won't be using the paints that thin, so I didn't really consider this a problem. I felt like the 24-pack came with a great range of colors. I really appreciated the tonal variety of the yellows, reds, blues, and greens. However, I do wish that there was a deeper shade of violet and maybe one other version of brown or orange. In general, I am happy with the colors that were offered, and I think that they will be easy and fun to work with. Since I'm still pretty new to using gouache, I was curious to see how the quality of the paints compared to my Holbein Artist Gouache set and decided to do a side-by-side comparison swatch card. I tried to pick the colors that would correspond from each set and separated them by cool undertones versus warm undertones. I was surprised to find that the Arteza really held up in terms of vibrancy and opacity. I did find that some of the colors didn't quite look the same. For example, the Prussian blues looked very different from each other. The main difference I noticed, however, was in texture and pigment quality. Holbein definitely felt and looked a bit more refined, but ultimately, I was still very impressed with the Arteza paints, even in comparison to the higher-end brand. The next test was to use these paints in practice. My first project was a simple portrait study. Through this process, I learned a lot about how to approach working with gouache and the ways that it differed from watercolor. Much of the project was learned as I go, but I felt that the quality of these paints made it very easy to fix mistakes and made the trial and error process much less intimidating. I talk about this project in more detail in my first gouache portrait video, which I have linked in the description. Once I broke the ice and got a feel for how to use the gouache, I was ready to attempt a second study, this time using the watercolor sketchbook. I will leave you now to enjoy the process footage of this demo piece, and I will share my final thoughts with you towards the end. So to be honest, I sort of fell in love with gouache through this process. I'm extremely impressed with the quality of the Arteza paints and even happier with the price. They blend well and have beautiful color payoff with a clean matte finish. Because they are so affordable, I don't feel scared to use them for practice, and the quality is still impressive enough to use for final projects. I would love to try out some of their other color options. I hope eventually they consider allowing customers to build their own mini sets or buy the tubes individually. As for the watercolor book, I think it's perfect to use for practicing with water-based media and experimental work. The paper is a pretty decent quality, though I notice it doesn't take well to erasing. I also noticed the paper buckles a bit when painting, however, the hardcover binding compensates for this by securely flattening the pages, which is reinforced with the elastic band. I would recommend the watercolor book because it's still great for working out ideas and doing study pieces, especially considering you get 2 books for roughly $18. Overall, I'm really happy with my purchases from Arteza. The quality of the gouache surpassed my expectations, and I am happy to have a reliable watercolor sketchbook that I can feel comfortable learning in. If you're looking for an affordable, solid sketchbook that you can use for mixed media, I think this is a great option. I also think the gouache is a great investment and an amazing way to get started in this medium if you're new to it. I can't wait to work more with both of these items from Arteza and learning more about the gouache medium in general. I'm looking forward to trying out some other supplies that Arteza offers and excited to see how this company evolves. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. If you're interested in getting a print of my demo piece, I will be adding them to my shop very soon. You can follow me on Instagram to stay up to date for when those prints are available. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you would like to see more art-related content from me. I hope that you found this review helpful, and please leave any questions or comments you may have below. I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.